She looked up. She said, "Oh my gosh, you're standing straight. My gosh, she's amazing." Yep, I am.
Yeah.
So it's at my age, thinking I could go through that and get it, it's kind of a, at a certain age would get, to do that. But I will tell you that it's amazing what it has done.
So you say next year you'll be 90 and Count Gregore will be 60, right?
Yep. I was 30 years old exactly because I was born in 1928, and Count Gregore became around and materialized in 1958.
That's
Isn't that
awesome.
amazing how the 28, 58?
You gonna try to
I'm
have
sorry?
a celebration for that?
Well, I'd like to. I think maybe I want you take a 90, 60, maybe a T-shirt. Maybe I could even go on and get a chance to go on Price is Right and get up there and do something. Who knows? Have the shirt made up and go out there. Bob Barker, I got you both beat. Drew, you haven't even close. I bet I could get on.
I bet you can.
I'll have to think about that. I've got friends in California. I need to think about this.
I think that's awesome.
So what would it take for us to get you to come down to Chickasha and hang out with us?
Oh, I'd love to. I love Chickasha. I've never played golf before. I mean, I love, yeah. I had a very dear friend of mine that I worked with at a golf course in Blanchard when I was up there, and his family lives over there. I mean, I would love to come over. I really would. And I don't mind driving so bad now getting out late at night because before, if I get out or got stuck, I mean, I just take a chance because even though I have the coverage to get my auto cover and everything like that, roadside, but still driving at night by myself at my age, get out there. I just sometimes I don't have it because of my luck. Sometimes it runs a little hardcore in a lot of ways. So I never know what to expect. And
because we do it at nighttime. We start it's still daytime when we start about 7 o'clock at night, and then we go till I don't know, usually 1 in the morning. But I mean, you wouldn't have to.
Well, no, if I'm with people and with if I'm with people out there doing that, then if I was going to do that, I would just stay over in Chickasha before I drive back because driving in.
Yeah, we can get you a hotel room here.
Yeah.
I would do that. Yeah, I'd love to do that.
Well, we'd love to just hang out with you because I've really enjoyed the show tonight. You've done a great job. You have a great memory. I tell you what.
Yeah.
I get that brought up to me quite frequently. There's a very, very dear friend of mine that lives in Phoenix, and I met her 3 years ago. We were over there with a friend of mine, and we were at OCU, and he had tickets to the show, the dance program. I went in there and sat down, and there was this very nice-looking lady sitting here by herself. I said, "Excuse me," and she was, "Oh, no problem." So she was very friendly. We got talking and found out it was her daughter up there dancing. And I said, "Oh, that went on here. That's your, oh, my gosh." And got talking with her. And from that day, we have begun. She's on the Facebook and everything, and we have become great friends. She and her daughter and everything. She is. And so I wrote something tonight about that I posted on Facebook, this little bust that this was a kid made for me in 1958 by watching the shows every Saturday night. He would work on it. So when he got it completed, then his mom called the television station, the promotion department. They got a hold of me, and they also got a hold of Tom Paxton. He had the daily show. So they invited her out, brought him out to appear on his show so they could show it off. But they had me ready, and I came up from behind him, couldn't see me, and I was Count Gregore because Tom said, I remember Paxton said, "Well, would you like to give this to Tom?" They explained how he did it. Everything was great. And said, "I bet you'd like to give this to present to Count Gregore yourself." But, he's never around the daytime, but maybe you ought to turn around. And when he turned around, I was afraid he's going to drop it. Because there I was. And, there I was.
Oh.
And, she messaged me back and said, "How in the world do you remember all this dates?" And I can't explain it. It's just as if it was a reel of film or videotape in my mind, and all I have to do is rewind it, honestly. That's all I can tell you.
I just think it's great because you're sitting here telling us these things and telling us dates and going back, and I'm just sitting here amazed listening to the stories going, this is really great, and what a wonderful memory you have.
Well, I'm very blessed. I will tell you that. Very
You have
blessed.
great stories.
And I do have a bio. A friend of mine is Tom Fowler, gentleman up in Kansas. And 5 years ago, 6 years, maybe longer than that now, maybe 7 or 8 years. He grew up here in the 60s, and had written books, and he went out and wrote a biography for me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Great.
I saw that.
Yep.
I'll have to check it out.
And so anyway, well, I can mail you one, whatever you want to do, work it out. But anyhow, and when I get there, and I made up some DVDs and stuff. We don't have a lot of shows because remember, in the early days, it was all live, and it was all film or whatever we got to make. We did something special, and only have recapture some of it. But we did, even in the 70s, VHS was still not really functional. It was still kind of, they had the beta tapes and the VHS. And and also at a cost, because when I was doing my show, and they were taping it then, at this time in the 70s, but the production manager, and we had the video, the tapes were 2-inch tapes recording on, very expensive, and the machines would fill, if you had a household and look under the wall and put 2 tapes there, they would generally find that be almost as tall as from floor to ceiling, and fill the wall up. They were so huge. And they were, and very expensive to buy, and then the tape. So anything when we got through taping, he didn't make extras and save it or stash it anywhere. And when we did 2 weeks, then the next week he wrote right that through, and we recorded over them. So we didn't save very much.
Oh.
Hardly anything.
Oh.
They were reading. Yeah.
That's a shame. Yeah.
And we didn't have the VHS at that time to do it anyway, going out, because I know it was later in the 80s or something, and I got something to VHS, and so most of the things I have on videotape are from the 80s.
Okay.
But there's still some, but not like the original. Only one time when I was doing something, I had a little film or tapes and pictures, one thing, but it's just not, we do not have anything. First, the shock theaters, anything I did in the shock theaters, I have still photos and stuff like that, and pictures,
right.
But no videotapes. Now, I do have a film, a 30-second film that we did a promotion on, they ran it to make it sound on. In other words, when videotape, stand out front, you can tape it. Well, I had to take a camera down there, set it up, get a microphone, put me against my costume, on the wall or something, and then roll the film. And if I made a mistake, we just get it, they edit it out. So we had, and I shot, and they made a 30-second promotion spot to run on film, so they could run it anytime they wanted to, because I couldn't otherwise have to do it live or do a slide and do a voiceover. So this one they wanted to do it. So it was the original. That is the original. That I do have.
Well, that's good. Well, like I said, I looked at on the, obviously you saw it. I looked on your Facebook and took some pictures and put it on there about the show tonight, and just wanted everybody to tune in and enjoy listening to you and getting to know you. And of course, I've enjoyed our friendship over on Facebook for several years now. I'm not sure how
that has opened up doors. That probably has been a great vehicle for resurfacing Count Gregore, really and truly, because it has literally put me in contact with all you and all those others out there who come up to me and say, "Oh, I grew up with you."
Yeah.
And I had no idea, no way I had to know this. I couldn't.
Yeah.
And I find out now all of this out there and how many people. And then I am truly in awe. I am overwhelmed. But I will tell you, it is the nicest thing that could ever. I can't even imagine anything could override or supersede the feeling I get from doing this all those many years and having it do, and being here tonight and to meet everybody and be able to do this. It's just an unbelievable happening in my life and journey that was never expected. I had, and either I got a divine providence or a lot of guardian angels sure helping me out.
Yep.
I mean, this is.
Well,
this
Max,
is really
Chris,
good
y'all have
because
any?
we had. Well, I mean, I was just listening. This is great.
I know.
Yeah. Do you have anything going on that you like to talk about?
Well, just the fact, being 89 years old, and I still got a lot of life, and I'm just extreme, and I do that. But I've got, something comes up, I'll try to post it or keep it advised. That's one thing that being on Facebook allows me to do. Oh, by the way, I'm going to do this tonight, which we were talking about. And then I've got this Saturday, I've got the on the 29th coming up to the Comic-Con, one thing and the other, and I may have something come the 22nd. I just got to double check myself. A couple things. Sometimes I don't get over, but I always try to let people know what's going on.
Now, the 29th, the Comic-Con, is that in Oklahoma City?
Yes, the fairgrounds.
Okay. Max, we might have to try to make the trip to Oklahoma City on the 29th.
On the 29th of July?
Yeah. A
wanna
week
go?
from Saturday.
Wow.
Lisa, hook me up with some tickets.
I was going to say, Chris, Max, we need to go.
Yeah.
I want to go.
Okay.
Okay, somebody
We'll
does have a
on in
question.
person.
Somebody does have
Okay.
a question. They
Okay,
said,
shoot.
John, what's your craziest paranormal experience ever, and how did it affect your career?
If you
I
have
have
You're a
what
legend, dude.
What was the crate? What was it? I'm sorry?
Have you ever had a paranormal experience? And if so, what was your craziest paranormal experience?
Oh, my gosh. Well, I mean, for one, how something about, you got rejection. I'm pretty small. Growing up, I was never selected on anything. I was kind of the last one ever chosen. So what do I pick for a career? An actor. To be an actor. And go on auditions. And get rejected.
Have you ever had a paranormal experience?
No. Kinda. I maybe in a way. One time I was a long time. What happened was I was a gentleman had a toy store, and I was on May Avenue. This is when I was first doing it in '58 through the whole thing.
Yeah.
And there's a place called the Haunted House out there on the 63rd, the restaurant and everything. But this guy,
I've been there.
and so they had the family, and it was now Nichols Hills. Matter of fact, they were going to have this 10-year-old birthday party, and they had a silver set with all the silver goblets and everything. As part of they went out to that old house in that area. There was an old burned down house out there, and so he contacted me, and there was like a pit, like a pond or something, and the wind was up. And I'm back there one night, and I was down there, and all of a sudden they were talking about telling stories, and I don't know, there was a gust of wind or something, but I'll guarantee you, I had goosebumps that came all over me, and I was up there, and I'm supposed to do that because it was just really, it turned out weird. And that wind came up, and so he was going to give me a cue when they were all gathered around the fire below this, because where I was down below the shelf of this pond. And I was going to come on top of it, and they were down below me about 25 or 30 feet, with around a little campfire, and it was dark. And so when the cue about giving me we'd set up originally. So when I heard it, I got up and I opened up my cape, and the wind picked up and started blowing, and I'm standing there, and I looked around because I was not sure what was going on. It was just eerie as it could be. And all of a sudden I said, who invades my territory at night like this? And they turned around. They were supposed to be looking at a little map. They screamed, and they took off in every direction you could imagine. He had to go corral them and bring them back. But it was very strange, very eerie. It just, I can't explain the feeling, but it was strange. But it was fun. I had a great night.
If you ever come down to Chickasha, you're going to have a paranormal experience.
Well, that's all right with me.
Yeah. John, thank you so much for being on the show tonight. We really appreciate it, and you're welcome to come back anytime.
Well, it's my pleasure, and I'm always thrilled, and I still to this day, I am just honored to do it, and I just, I like to tell the stories, and if people enjoy that, then that's what I love to do.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
God bless. Thank you so much for having me on tonight. I have really and truly enjoyed it. Truly.
We did too.
And just do me, and if you thank everybody out there for me, because I'm not going to go into depth of it, but I have two instances in my life when I was in the early days of Count Gregore, that fan base, I know exactly, and I will do